I'm over here eating, dog.
See, another day, another eat fest.
How you doing, brother? How was your week?
Hey man, it's good. I'm what? Shit, 3 days away from my kids gonna be here for the summer. King of the
And
Ring and
happy
14.
Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day.
Absolutely. And I mean, I don't know,
Speaking
man.
of which, let's have breaking news. Are we doing a show on Memorial Day?
Yeah, I might do that. I don't see why not.
Okay.
I don't see. I don't think I have anything going on. I mean, the
I
girls
don't
can be
think I have
we'll just be hanging
plans.
out.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't have like any specific plans, so I'm pretty sure we can go live.
yeah, I was gonna say we got a Raw, so I think we should do a little show, even if it is.
Hey, I don't care where I'm at. I'll go live.
Yeah, there's some people I gotta watch on live.
And as a matter of fact, we'll not only talk about one of the upcoming topics that we're going to discuss a little bit more tonight, which is the King and Queen of the Ring PLE this weekend. We'll follow that up, but we'll get together over the weekend and pick a few topics to kind of link with. I'll do a couple of plunder, and that have something to do with Memorial Day. So we'll dig something for the fans out there.
Okay. I
Kind of like a special show. Special show.
Yeah, I like that. We're a special Memorial Day show.
Lego.
Oh yeah, the Bucks booze cruise is officially underway.
Yeah.
I'm putting everything in the.
So hey, I just want to point out thanking Madden later in the year and a lot of Madden players in the community, because let me tell you what, the golden tickets, which are 99 overalls that are cards that were recreated by fans who win drawings, who pull certain cards earlier in the year. Well,
yeah.
Let me tell you, in the golden ticket category, you see the finger, right? Like it just
Oh man,
I'm pointing straight up, bro. Promise you, it's straight up. But
I think they have a.
You got Vincent Jackson, Vita Vea at tight end. It's a created card. You got Gronkowski at middle linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Mike Allstott, the A train at fullback. And I want to say there was somebody else, but like 5 players that are 99 overall. Showing love to the Buccaneers theme team out there. My theme team's a 98 overall. I'm doing pretty good. But at the same time, just wanted to point that out. Thank you, EA and Madden community.
Well, I mean, I think it is a little bit time that we start getting our love. I mean, seems only fair.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It's way overdue. Way overdue. In all categories and all facets, whether it be a video game or public in the streets. Like outside of the southern eastern United States and Bristol, Connecticut, we don't get any acknowledgement about who we even are. We're just talked about in Bristol and New York because we're part of the NFL, but like nobody knows the Buccaneers because of the small market, and I like 80% of the players that deserve it don't get the attention.
But see, here's my problem with that. How the hell are we a fucking small market? 90% of America wants to fucking move into Tampa. Have you not? You ain't been down here in a minute. Well, I mean, when you come down for the games, you see all the traffic.
I've been down here for a minute, bro.
Well, I was gonna say, you see all the traffic.
Tampa's booming right now. That whole Central Florida area is exploding right now.
Well, here's the thing, right? That's my question. How are we a small market team? And I mean, I get where you're at with it. I get what you're saying.
The money generated.
Like
the money being generated. That's what dictates the market.
Hey, it's crazy, bro. As much as the city of Tampa rides the Bucks nuts and all these businesses are riding nuts, we should be a little bit higher on market.
I agree. I believe we're past that point. I think when we won our Super Bowl, it made us relevant in the league when we won back in the early 2000s, right? When we won with Tom Brady, that wasn't, hey, we're not just this new team in the league. We're not an expansion team. We're a contender now. We're a real team. Now what this was, hey, we're a different kind of team. We're our culture's different. Our thought process is different. Everything is different. We're more mature now today. So I don't look back and say that, hey, we're going to fall back into that. No, we're going to keep building and putting people in places that have that mentality. Because if you don't, you need to be out of $1 straight up.
Well, and I was going to say, we talked about it last week. Just the culture change that Brady brought in. When he came to Tampa. And that I believe we were talking about Mike and Chris.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that mentality that brought them, matured that entire team. And I mean, it has catapulted us, in how many different aspects.
Just look at the signings we had, bro. Like, that was crazy. Look at the signings we had. Like, they weren't just signings. Like, we signed vet guys who truly wanted money.
Well, I was going to say,
that's what these guys wanted. They had rings. They wanted money. They've had everything else. They've never been anywhere else, and we were able to keep that. That's going to be huge next year.
Well, I was going to say, and I mean, think about pre-pandemic, right? It was, you couldn't get nobody here when it came to signing.
Right.
I mean, our biggest asset, I think, in that time frame was when we acquired Vincent Jackson. Before that was when we had Ike Hilliard had his fucking downslide. We had Joey Galloway and his downslide.
Yeah.
Like, those days were amazing. It produced some iconic Buccaneer moments that weren't
absolutely
that really weren't just Super Bowl related. Because if you think about a lot of
Joe
highlights, that's what and a lot of his highlights in that time frame were Super Bowl, because that's where they
biggest game in his career was after his that tragic moment. That's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely, in Philly. I remember that, and that was
like dog. Like, I was bawling, I was crying, dude. That was an emotional moment.
Well, and where I'm getting at with it is that culture, pre-Brady, pre-pandemic, whatever you want to call this. It was. I mean, we've seen it.
I don't even know what it was.
JPP called it out several times, especially when we had guys like Gerald McCoy. We're getting our ass handed to us by the Atlanta Falcons, and y'all boys over here dancing in the stadium on the sideline. We've seen that culture. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. We've seen a culture change on that defense when we brought in Todd Bowles and we brought in Adama Stu to replace Gerald McCoy. I seen a difference in that defense at that moment, and then
from that moment, that defense has been top 10.
Well, and then you go ahead and turn around and you look at the entire organization. When Brady came in 2020, it wasn't the Patriot way, but Tampa Tom was born, man. Like, I think Tampa Tom was truly born the day he signed. Because, it led us to the Super Bowl. We all understand that, but it's a culture. And I think since then, it has just kept it elevated. And one of those players that we're about to talk about is Tristin Wirfs not being at OTAs. Are you worried? I mean, he's waiting for a new contract, man. Tomlin just got paid the highest paid defensive back in league history. Is it wrong for him to hold it out and want that money?
This is my thought process without having any insider information.
Yeah,
having enough information to know what's going on and listening to the right people talking. That's what we have to do out here in the sports world if you really want the good information. And it's not easy to figure it out, but you just got to listen to the right people. But this is my thought process. Okay. He's a fifth year starter, right? He is a 2-time All-Pro. Okay, he is a Super Bowl champion. He is a elite left tackle, elite right tackle. You can't say that about all of those switch guys, period. Now, but they're all elite at one of those sides. I promise you that. But nonetheless, does he have a right? Now, this works on both sides of the argument here. And this being said is there are more injuries to players because of no contact in preparation over the years with relation to player safety. Now, with OTAs, if you are accountable enough as an individual, first off, let's go back here just to being normal people. If you're accountable to do what you're supposed to be doing every day, he's taking care of himself right now this time of the year. He's been taking care of himself this time of the year. He don't want to get hurt. That will affect that contract.
That money.
He don't need OTAs. In my opinion, he has deserved the choice to acknowledge the OTA in real term is what? Tell them what OTA means.
I mean, I don't know the exact. Actually, wait. It's organized team activity. I'm sorry.
Organized team activities, which are optionable. At this point, based off of the contract with the players' organization, you know, all that good stuff. You know, they don't have to do this. And realistically, the veterans or in situations like this, a veteran guy who's on a contract year, you know, to potentially tear his ACL and OTAs running track.
Well,
I mean, in fairness. Now, that's where his mind is, in my opinion. That's what I think is happening. I believe him and the Bucs are on the same page. I believe he has the faith in the Buccaneers. Jason Light has proven himself that he wants this guy. He will get the job done. That's my thought.
All right, so let me piggyback off you real quick because I think he's earned it. This is, like you said, 5th year.
Yep.
They picked up his option. Okay, they're not saying, "Hey, we don't want you." I know you, but you just watch the guy you got drafted with get paid. So ultimately, it's not one of those, hey, he got paid, I want to get paid. Why am I not getting paid? You know, he's not throwing a bitch there, bro. But first, foremost, I think some fans just need to shut the fuck up and sit down. And just trust Jason Light. Trust the process. A deal is going to be done. There's no way. I've seen it. Bro, he brought back all 22 fucking starters, including the man who filed for bankruptcy earlier this week, Antonio Brown. Like, and that's not taking a shot. And let me reiterate this: filing bankruptcy don't mean he's broke. It just means he owes a lot of money. He ain't got the money that they say he owes. That's where the bankruptcy comes into play. So we'll put that out there, the white thing. We understand that it doesn't mean he's broke, but fucking karma hit that motherfucker where it got. That being said, fans do just need to shut the fuck up and just let the thing happen because I'm not worried about him missing OTA, bro. I'm really not. We seen what happened with Jensen. Shit, what was it? 3 years ago now. As soon as they began.
Can I also tell you, like one of his best friends on the team, the quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and you know, here's the thing.
You think he's gonna let that guy down?
Well, here's where I was getting at originally too. Is with Tristin, he was drafted to protect Tom Brady. So of course he's got that ego, and I'm not using that word in a negative way, but he's got that ego,
right?
That states, hey, you guys brought me in, trusting me to protect the greatest of all time. Now you guys got me protecting the next GOAT. I deserve to get paid in that respect. And ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. I am not worried about
I'm not necessarily saying he don't, like, at the same time, let me clarify. Could he be, like you pointed out, think about this scenario. Let's twist this up just a little bit and throw this wrench in it just to have a different perspective. One last
part on it, though. Just because he's not at OTAs, don't mean he won't be at training camp.
That part.
So,
now,
what were you? What's up?
And let's remind everybody of a simple fact. He did recently just have a baby, so.
I mean, can't fault the guy.
No. So, but here's this theory. Just throwing this out there. Antoine Winfield, Tristin Wirfs, drafted together. Both all-pro elite players. We're going to talk about that draft for a long, long time.
I mean,
that being said,
that draft led to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that for a hot minute because I can't
that draft was very impactful on our Super Bowl.
I cannot name one person out of that draft class in 2020 that didn't make a little bit of an impact at some point.
Yeah, you're right. Here's the thing with this deal. I'm Tristin Wirfs, right?
Yeah.
I'm the left tackle. I am the second most important person, almost arguably on the team.
I mean, you could even argue that he might be the most.
He's more important than the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because without good tackles on the edge, your quarterback's done ski.
Your quarterback's laying down like Tua was last year.
Absolutely. So, in theory, having that thought, saying, okay, let me say this. Let me say that I believe that I should be getting paid. I love my brother. I love Tristan. I love Antoine. But I also believe that I'm going to be the cornerstone of this offense for the next 3 to 5 years. And that to me is more important in my mind as a left tackle than this. And I believe they took that priority and moved it to somebody else. Now, could I legitimately and rightfully feel some type of way? Fuck yeah.
Can you fault the guy?
No.
Exactly.
But that being said, why the fuck go to OTAs if I think that way?
I mean,
doesn't mean I'm not going to be ready when the season comes to play ball so we can go win a Super Bowl and I can get a shitload of money. Because Jason, my GM, has done proof to me I'm going to get it done.
Yeah. Well,
like you said, shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. Trust the process in my Joel Embiid voice.
Hey, and he might just be at training camp without a contract. Oh, no. Does that mean that he's going to let Baker get sacked all the time? Hey, you know damn well we got some fans out there.
Oh, definitely.
So, speaking of money, well, or lack thereof.
Yeah.
News came out earlier this week that the New Orleans Saints, however you want to classify the garbage-ass franchise of an organization that we all love to hate. How is your state shaped as a toilet? That's all I want to know.
Bro, if you don't already know about the state of New Orleans off of Hurricane Katrina's news media coverage and the everything after, like that government up there in Louisiana is weird.
Hey, but they are the ones that called out the New Orleans Saints organization for being behind in $11.5 million in payments.
That's a lot of money.
I was reading up on it, before we got ready for the show, and New Orleans clapped back and said, "Hey, we're holding money out because you're trying to push us out of some things. You're trying to take some rights away from us that, we want a long-term deal for this Superdome, and you're not trying to work a deal out with us." And they're saying, "Hey, that's not part of the contract. We understand what you want to do, but you owe this money for these renovations right here. They're set to be done, from what I read, by in time for football."
Huh.
So,
that's interesting.
The world's largest porta potty is going to get, some upgrades. I wish Boogie was in here right now. He would have really loved that.
That's great. That was good.
But, here's the thing, and this goes. And I'm saying this because this will be posted to the NFC South group. How in the hell do you nut ride us so bad for all of our stuff? You want to call us the Yucks? But your fucking franchise is skipping out on payments, bitch. You're about to get foreclosed. All of you New Orleans Saints fans are about to come back to your original team in Dallas.
Hey, price of y'all's tickets about to go up, fool.
Hey, if you guys are looking for a new place, you can't come to Tampa, but I heard it's like less than $500 to get season tickets in Carolina. Y'all can go there. I know they're looking for fans. They need somebody.
Hey, you might find success in Jacksonville. Who knows?
I don't want their asses in Florida, bro. Jacksonville already stinks enough.
Yeah, man. I hate that city.
Yeah.
I hate that city.
Yeah, it's rough.
Hey, so looking at the time, realizing what time it is.
Okay.
And also understanding that we don't have any more, topics as far as the pancakes portion of the show. Before we get into some power bombs, I got something I want to bring up.
What's up?
Yeah, go ahead and clear your head. Because last week, what we saw, if you watched wrestling last week, you saw Braun Breaker once again be fed a jobber. And being put with a jobber serves multiple things. It kind of gives you a feel of yourself. It gives the crowd a feel of you. It gives the back producers and everybody the feel of how the crowd's reacting to you and how you're moving, how they can help you change, whatnot. Well, first off, let me say that Braun Breaker didn't need any of that. And I'm not saying that's what it is.
Let's run it back on Braun for a little bit on what led to this. Ever since being drafted to Raw, he ain't been fed. He was left out of that King and Queen of the Ring tournament. I understandably, bro, I can see that frustration.
But you got Tama Tonga in it, who literally just joined WWE.
Exactly. No,
and he's been a champ down in NXT for how long?
No. I was going to say you're hitting my exact point, bro. Like,
my bad. Let me shut up. Ah.
Hey, and speaking of King and Queen of the Ring, before we get back on the Braun Breaker shit, the winner of the King and Queen of the Ring gets a shot at the championship at Clash of the Castle from here.
Ooh,
that's not Clash of the Castle, SummerSlam.
That's juicy. So, getting back to what I was saying, and I watched the whole thing. I watched him destroy Homeboy in the ring, I believe that was legit. Now, and I was all good. That was the way it was supposed to go down. But if you paid attention, he's either A, really good in character, okay, or B, what you saw was raw ass emotions if you paid close enough attention. Because that dude was really pissed off. He's like some people are extraordinarily competitive. And if you know anything about his father and his uncle, anything whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. So
that dude, I promise you, is 10 times worse than them.
So I know where you're going at with this. I know there was a couple of rumors about it being a shoot.
Yes.
And he went on. They kind of let him a little bit of a freedom. If they did, and I can see this because of the fact of
he did backstage. Holy shit!
I was gonna say with the fact of Hunter and Scott and Rick being so close, of course, I can see them saying, hey, go ahead and show us what you can do. We're gonna give you a little bit of this. Here's the confines you need to work in. Go.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can see it being raw emotion, and it was amazing.
Wow.
Like I'm not even gonna lie, man.
That was brutal.
I was getting flashbacks of Rick Steiner, bro, just snapping after Scott went NWO. Like, that was just...
Like, the way his... Like, this kid is a freak.
Bro,
and if he can focus and get better behind the camera or in front of the camera, excuse me, and in the ring and on the mic and working with other wrestlers, wow, we could be looking at literally one of the greatest performers of all time.
I was gonna say, if talking about his heritage and his family, if you know who his dad and his uncle is, you know them. And I mean, if you've watched the NXT, you know them skills are there. I hope they're unleashing this man. I really do. I really.
You know what I hope? You know what I hope? Here's what I hope. I hope they keep building and swelling that homeboy's chest, right? Or he does, one of the two, okay? And I hope we hear this. Like, can you imagine Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar in a match, in a cage?
It ain't gonna be a cage.
I mean, but no, hear me out.
It's happening.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
What do you... Okay.
Think about that. Like, you gotta pass the torch. You gotta pass the torch to the powerhouse somehow. And Brock's not gonna be there forever.
Brock, and without really getting too into it, because I quit following the whole lawsuit.
Right.
WWE, TKO, Hunter, all of them, I guess they're at this point of, you know what, you really weren't named in the lawsuit. You took your couple of months, you stayed quiet, you didn't feed into anything. You know what, just go ahead and come back. It's more aimed at Vince being a dirtbag, unless your name's
Brock. Mean, Stephanie was linked to it, but she showed up on a PLE.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. With all of that,
yeah, I agree.
I do know there is plans. Well, there were plans previous to all this shit that they would take Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar, and there'd be
Man, that program would be insane. I would pay to go to every show.
But if we get Lesnar back, expect within that short amount of time frame, Gunther and Lesnar, because that was scrapped from WrestleMania because of the allegations.
I would rather see that first, to be honest.
No,
Just
I want it last.
But I believe Braun Breaker could have been a shoot. It's a 50-50 shot to close that out. But at the same time, I think they're using him perfectly right now.
Bro, they
need to take their time with him.
Absolutely, and I like that they are. I wanna see more. But
because you can see he snaps sometimes and he be losing it.
Maybe this is his coming out party. You know?
Yeah.
Because we knew about him on SmackDown. Like Nick Aldis is great with beach on that.
Dude, he kept destroying everybody that was trying to take the belt from him. And I'm like, he's not just wrestling guys; he's destroying his championship opponents.
Well, that's kind of where I'm going at with it. It's like if you get Braun Breaker and you showcase that raw talent, don't just let him run through everybody.
Yeah.
I want to see. I mean, yes, have him run through a couple of guys. You know, I'm not saying this feed him to the big cage first, but I want to see something like Braun Breaker versus Braun Strowman.
Make him work for the W.
You know, yeah, like I want to see Braun get beat up a little bit and see how he responds.
Yes.
I would absolutely believe more of him taking an L the first time to a guy like Brock Lesnar.
Or Bobby Lashley.
Or like Bobby Lashley, and then coming back in, a couple months and just completely destroying them, and it being, I did my Steiner match, everything added up. Like, the dude.
I can see him and Bobby Lashley going at it.
Bro, I can see so much with Braun Breaker.
That kid's got a lot of potential.
That was nuts. Now I'll go with you. I do think it may have been a shoot a little bit, but I do still think there was some sort of an outline that they did have.
Yeah. I'm more inclined to go with what you said, like the thought of like here's your leash. You got a little bit of rope to go extra and make your move, and I believe that's kind of what he did.
Yeah, I think it was kind of that proverbial put the dog on the leash and it's, hey, here's how far you can go ahead, and then we're gonna bring you back in.
Yeah,
and we'll continue to give you a little bit of freedom so we can trust you. Now I can see that. Now, leading up to the night, man, it's gonna be fun. We got King of the Queen finals nearing, man. It happens tomorrow, but you get your semifinals. You're getting a couple other matches. You're gonna get some fallout because from what I'm reading, they're gonna start letting Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight cook. I don't know if they're using the Street Profits in this, but I do believe maybe it's to take, because it is part of the Grayson Waller effect. So I do think maybe the Street Profits come and take, tag team gold from A-Town Down Under now that, the Final Testament moves off. So maybe you finally get some gold on the Street Profits, do their thing.
I would really enjoy that. They're a hell of a tag team, man.
Well, and I mean, think about it. Bianca and Montez, both tag team champions in their respective division. That would be kind of a
Bianca ain't gonna be the champion long, bro.
No, she's not. I mean, if the reports are correct, she won't be.
And we'll get into that more next week, as a matter of fact, because I was reading up on that, but and how it's going to affect said titles.
Well, I don't want to get into it, and I've seen the reports since I think last week. There's been no confirmation yet.
Absolutely, that's why I hadn't said nothing yet.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to hold off. But man, if that's the case, that after
you gotta
watching
get past this weekend.
Well, I was going to say after
This weekend could be the tell. If they lose the titles this weekend, that was why.
Are they slated?
Wait a minute. They're not even, unless they make a tie. I was just about to say, unless they make a match, I don't think they have one.
I think they're slated to hold the titles until Clash of the Castle. Because that's when they take on Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
So I don't think. Yeah,
I don't know. Can you see her wrestling being that way though? If that's the case,
I see it being. I see it mostly centered around Jade. Bianca might take the pinfall somehow.
Yeah.
It would, and it wouldn't be anything detrimental. But yeah.
See, because that's not like going to work. You know, that's a whole different kind of complications when you're in this profession.
Yeah, I mean, shit, bro. It's gonna be, especially what we're talking about. You see it on the screen. I'm going against my exacts tonight, bro, to figure out who's gonna go face Lyra Valkyria. You know, and
which was a shocker,
bro. That was a fucking banger.
That was, dude. I enjoyed watching that one.
That was, you know what? Shout out to Lyra Valkyria and Io Sky for that. That was a match that I never thought I needed, but I would love to see more of that.
Dude, they put on a show. Like I've seen a couple of Lyra's matches in NXT, you know, but like I don't really pay attention to a lot of the women wrestlers in NXT. I'm just so I grew up on
I just don't follow much.
Good-looking chicks just dancing around in the ring, right? Not professional wrestlers. And then over the last 10 years, you've seen all these wrestlers. So, like, if you aren't elite as far as female wrestling, I really don't eyeball you too much.
Hey, you better raise that bar, man. It's been longer than 10 years that these women have been doing it.
Bro, if you ain't on the big show, I don't pay you no attention. You got to earn your paperwork around here.
Bro. These women have been busting that ass in the ring as wrestlers.
No, I'm not saying that, but that just shows that I don't pay attention to a lot of NXT in general. But I promise you, it's more the men.
I don't follow the NXT like that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, nothing against them, but I just don't follow it that way.
Right, me either.
One NXT pay-per-view I can say I watched, you know, we just happened to be sitting there one night.
I got Peacock. I'll definitely watch the PLEs.
No, I'm gonna say I got Peacock. I'm not gonna be like,
but see, again, we talked about this before, though, bro. I'm not in it just for the matches. We both are in it for the storylines. And if you don't watch the shows week in and week out, the matches are just great entertainment, but you don't get anything out of it.
I mean, honestly, for me, if I was someone like Dave Meltzer or Jim Cornette,
right?
Yeah, I'd turn it on just to watch the matches. That way, it'd be upgraded. You know, I'm not. And no disrespect to these guys. They're fucking.
No, because they got some talent, bro. They got talent.
Well, no. I was gonna say no disrespect to Meltzer corny, but they're fucking historians and shit. They are. Who we were looking up to before all this was at our fingertips. But I'm like you. I don't watch it every week. I don't know the storylines. The one time I watched it was a Lyra Valkyria match, and she was going against Blair Davenport. I thought it was a crazy ass for Lyra and some other shit. See, that's how much of it I know. It was Roxanne and Blair.
Right.
But just that alone was just her style was so cool. I so fucking dig it.
I think, and she's Irish, so she's tough as nails. Just by genetics.
Here's my thing. I would love to see more of her and Becky, but I don't think I want to see more of her and Becky. As much as I love Becky, that persona now just feels so, I don't know, over the top.
Yeah.
And I know, I get it. It's Becky's personality, but it's not. That was never her real personality or her real persona in the beginning. So it's great. Yeah, it's grown, but I guess it's not something. So, anyways, back to what we were talking about. The men's King of the Ring. Man, we're getting Emma. Well, we got Gunther defeating Jey Uso. Before we get into the SmackDown, was it a good call for Gunther over Jey?
It almost, in my opinion, it kind of feels like it's going to be a Randy Gunther and Randy pushing Gunther. As a Randy fan, I'm like, fuck that. Randy Orton's fixing to win King of the Ring.
Yeah, so my thought process was when you gave me Jey and Gunther, Tama Tonga and Randy Orton, my thought went to, bro, you're about to get Jey and Tama Tonga the King of the Ring. You get Jey crowned King. Turmoil begins in the bloodline. To me, that just felt like more of a bold storyline that we could have ran with. Because they're doing it, but you might be correct. I also think it could be Randy getting that King of the Ring crown, getting a championship match against Cody at SummerSlam. Doesn't win, and that's okay. Randy doesn't need that win necessarily, but you just gave him that ultimate spot from
right.
And maybe after SummerSlam, Randy does go light on the schedule. And
I believe Randy Orton's at the top of his game right now. He's just as good, if not better, than he's ever been. I mean, physically, he's got issues. Huh?
I think WrestleMania 41 is his last full-time match.
Yeah. I think he's on his way out. He's got too many major injuries to the top portion of his body, and honestly, I don't personally think he needs to risk it. Being even a person in my situation where I was in a halo for 17 months.
Well, I was going to say, maybe not necessarily. I just think he steps out of the main full time. Maybe he goes part time, kind of the way Rick was doing. Maybe he manages some up and coming talent or something. Maybe when the Wyatt Six comes together, we get Randy joining it as a wow factor. Just because we know how that went with the Wyatt thing. Like that would be fucking cool. Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead. We'll talk about it, man. Tomorrow's King of the Ring. First off, who wins? Who wins tonight's match between Randy Orton and Tama Tonga? Who wins tomorrow night between Gunther and that choice?
I've watched Tama Tonga. He ain't earned it, for one. Number one. As a wrestling fan, I've been for 44 years. Of my 44 years, I've been a wrestling fan.
Okay, so, now we're gonna.
That being said, let's push that aside. I'm all about Randy Orton winning this right now as part of like a completion portion, like we were just discussing, of his career. After Jey Uso lost, my attention immediately shifted to Randy Orton. Past Gunther. It wouldn't hurt Gunther to lose to Randy.
No.
It's not going to hurt him at all.
This is where I think Giovanni Vinci costs Gunther King of the Ring.
And that's a high probability. High probability. But for me, like what we were just discussing, the end of Randy Orton's career, bro, without saying it's a legacy or a, you know, a goodbye tour, this is potentially a goodbye tour. And how do you wrap up something like that? Well, you take care of things that are unfinished. And one of the things Randy Orton has never done has been King of the Ring. And I don't think he'll ever break his Idols record, regardless if John Cena does or not.
Here's my
Ric Flair. But
here's my thing.
Woo!
You could still put Gunther over while giving Randy that King of the Ring.
Absolutely.
And the same match, you could put Gunther over by a pinfall from Randy Orton for Randy Orton to be your King of the Ring.
Now, let me say this. I also think there could be a possibility because, you know, things got involved. People got involved in like, you know, certain aspects with Jey Uso, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Well, here's my thought process.
I mean, that's a small possibility, but I think it's possible for it to lead to that way of a victory for Randy.
When you talk about Tama Tonga, to say and I get where you're going at when you say he hasn't earned it within the WWE yet. If you were to say he hasn't earned it overall, that would be a false statement. This man's been cooking.
I agree.
In the industry for fucking ever, because we'll get into it in a future episode, man. Because I am building it, but it's the blood, or not the bloodline of Bullet. If you look at his work with his brother Tonga Loa and the Gorillas of Destiny, you also look at his work with the Bullet Club. This man,
dude, he's got skills and he's been around for a long time.
I love and I'm gonna tell you right now, man. As much as I'm not supposed to like Tama Tonga and this whole face wheel scenario type thing.
Right.
I love watching his dude work because it is so cool. But I go with you on this. You know, Randy gets the King of the Ring crown. It puts Gunther over. And this is where we're gonna get so much more added to it because, like I said, we could be getting a Wyatt 6 welcome, and I don't know, man. Something in me, just, if they don't go towards Judgment Day and the beef because of Braun Strowman, what if they went and focus on Randy Orton first? Because maybe he's not, he's not Bray, and Bray, happy belated heavenly birthday to him. 37 as of yesterday, 37 yesterday.
Yeah, makes sense.
But you get Randy, who is really the last tag team partner plus feud that you had with Bray. It would be cool to have him.
Yeah.
That's a small impact. So, but I like where you're at with, him winning with Randy winning King of the Ring. Now we're gonna jump down to the females for a second. Give me 1 second. There we go. First, Nia Jax or Bianca Belair. know, and that's hard to decide, ain't it?
You know, I mean, honestly, at this point, you take away the previous subject with Bianca Belair. I'm going to be honest with you. You can't keep trying to push a woman. Now, you got to take the out of the ring and out of in front of the cameras scenarios into play when you talk Nia Jax and how she's pushed because of her previous history. She has a history of kind of, not necessarily being cooperative. But I believe she's an elite talent. I believe she's a powerhouse in the women's division. I believe she can push matches. She almost shows to sometimes she freelances a little more, and gets a little extreme at times. But at the same time, you can't keep keeping her away from credibility. And I think personally, you put over Lyra Valkyria in a way better fashion, losing to Nia Jax.
Okay,
and I believe Nia Jax defeats Bianca Belair. That alleviates, because I kind of think that what we were talking about is true. And if it is, that would alleviate her from that right now. She don't have to worry about that as part of the situation and how to fix that situation. But I also believe more that I think it's Nia Jax's time.
I mean, her time as a queen of the ring, I could see
to get that credibility outside of a victory.
So you're kind of the same thing we were talking about with Gunther and Randy. You kind of passed that torch with Randy, even though he picks up a win, but you're passing it to Gunther.
Yeah,
you're kind of you're giving Lyra that credibility. You're putting her over.
Do I think a Lyra Valkyria and Bianca Belair match would be fire? Fuck yeah. But I believe a better way to put her over, and I'm trying to think of a behind-the-scenes mentality, a behind-the-curtain kind of mentality, that a better way to put Lyra Valkyria over and replace a lot of these girls that are leaving or getting injured or not wrestling right now, and bringing up that young talent and putting those talents over, is by having her go all out with the wrestler of the. I mean, first off, the physical size difference is extraordinary. So, I agree.
And this is exactly what Vernon's saying. You got, she's underrated. She's underutilized. We've seen her with the title before, and it ended in Ronda Rousey taking it, but.
But it's a good accomplishment for a wrestler at the same time. It's not a title, but it's a title.
So, could this be you get Nia going and taking on Bayley and taking her title?
Yeah.
I can get all for that.
I can see that.
You're running back an old, long-term storytelling. Nia and Bayley once again. Crowds and Paz. I like that. That would absolutely be 100%.
Hey, can I point out this is Creamsicle?
I feel you. Hey, another thing we need to talk about in the next couple of minutes. Look, they need to take that title from Logan Paul, man. Since he's won it, they need to take that U.S. title from Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I think he's scared. He's too damn scared to defend it, man. He's had that big since November. He's had 2 title defenses. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. Now he's dodging Cody, wanting to put his title on the line, but thinks he deserves that WWE title. Now, man, I hope they put title for title up, but somehow, some way, I think they need to get rid of that title around Logan, because he is discrediting and bringing down the prestige of the U.S. title.
I can agree with that from that perspective 100%. I mean, if there's a storyline behind all that, if he's been injured but you had another storyline for him long term that you wanted to go with, there's many different ways. But at the same time, you just can't have a guy going months. I mean, you're not just wrestling during the live shows on TV. You're not putting your title up at PLEs. And for to me, for one, a U.S. title should be put up damn near at every pay-per-view.
Absolutely. I mean, he needs to be putting it up at least every pay-per-view. Hell, they can do an open challenge like everybody else is doing now. Last subject before SmackDown kicks on and we got to go. Who wins tomorrow? Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes.
No way in hell I'm riding with Logan Paul right now. No way in hell. Not in character, not in script, and not in real life. Cody Rhodes all day.
All right. All right, my man. I will, we'll talk Monday for the Memorial Day special.
Yes, sir. We'll communicate. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you once again for joining Pancakes and Powerbombs. Until then, happy Memorial Day. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.